Welcome. Good evening, everyone. I welcome you to our Foundation for the Study of Cycles and a new session of Cycles TV. We will do another market report. It is Monday. It is 6 o'clock Central European Time. So my name is Lars von Thienen, and I want to guide you through another weekly session of reviewing some cycle analysis. So feel free, as always, to drop your comments in our chat section, and I will now try to go through some data sets together with you. So today the focus I would like to use is cryptocurrency and crypto data sets. So for today, let's use 15 to 20 minutes to check cycles on the cryptocurrency charts. I think this is anyhow of big interest. I just need to switch the scenes here. Okay, so in order to start with the cryptocurrency, and for everyone who's new for today or who is just reviewing or using a playback, this is a live session. We do this every week, once a week, Monday, 6 o'clock Central European Time. Feel free to mark it in your calendar and join us once a week. It's just some cycle analysis live from the current data set, so nothing scripted, nothing prepared. You can just watch me going live over our cycle analysis tools, which is available for every member of the foundation. So let's jump into some crypto data sets for today. So let's start with standard Bitcoin in this case here. So let's go to our cycle scanner and let's switch to the cycle scanner settings here. I will go into full screen mode that you can follow me here a little bit better. So first of all, this is the Bitcoin chart. I mean, we have peaked during the last months. We have tried to do some analysis. So first, let's load some more data on the chart. To have some more data in our analysis, I will broaden the analysis now. So now we have 5 years of daily data. And now let's check first on the spectrum view what the cycles show here. And as you always know, we will look for the interesting peaks on the spectrogram here. So for example, here's one standing out with a length of 273 days. And then we will move to these shorter ones here, but let's start with the main cycle first. So 273. Bartle score is okay. The strength is in the higher range, and we have a higher length. So let's start with this one cycle here, which is at least aligned with the major top in the past. And then you're always skipping the second cycle here. So, but now even, pointing to another high at this point in time here. So more or less arriving at a current cycle high if we just call this key cycle in the market. And then let's move to the other interesting cycles we might find here. So we have then the length of 153, 133, so 182. So we could try to add these cycles here into the mix, which even more align to the major turns in the market here. If we just check Bitcoin, I mean, now it's quite good aligned with major lows and highs in the market. So from a long-term perspective, this seems to fit now. At least for a composite, and I've just used 3 cycles for this composite here. So 182. So these 3 cycles here, I've just used these 3 cycles here, and you can see just from the alignment to the data set, the turns align quite well. So, and now let's look at the current situation here. So by looking at the chart here, so it looks like that Bitcoin, I mean, this is compared to the US dollar here, Bitcoin versus US dollar, is now making a top, at least from the cycle analysis point of view. We could even add some more data to look more into the future to see where the turns will show up. Okay, so, but at least now suggesting, yeah, kind of down move then into summer next year. So I would be careful with even going long now in Bitcoin. It looks more, yeah, like kind of reverse, but then we need to recheck in March. At least in March, we need to revisit if this works out or not. So this is Bitcoin. So let's now move on to the other interesting cycles. Okay, so let's switch back to the main session. I mean, we can use Litecoin here just to browse some important coins here. Yeah, we have actual data. I will also use full set of 5 years here. So let's first review the spectrum here for this instance. Also again, 257 would be the first one I would pick here. So 257, here we go. Yeah, battle score is okay, strength in the middle. So let's see. Yeah, at least picks a major turn. So now we can add some shorter ones like the 77 here looks quite good. 77108. 7777. So these 3 cycles are picked here. They have a high battle score. The strength is in the higher range, and the length is interesting here to play out. So now we can a little bit zoom in and check how it relates to market behavior. So at least comparing with the last 5 years, these 3 cycles look up or make up at least the main behavior in the market. And now let's get to the current point where it's suggesting the same also for Litecoin here. So that's now suggesting kind of down move, yeah, into January or March this year. Yeah, your question is in regards to the battle score, or what you think should be included in the composite. So I think this is a very good and interesting question. So at least I would look for a minimum of 60. I mean, this is kind of threshold offset. So 60 to 100, the higher the better. So at least what I've picked here is around 80 is a very good score. I mean, you would not very often see scores above 90 anyhow. So if you find something around 80, this is good. Don't use with battle score lower than 60. Or you just need to know what you're doing. The battle score is then also seen here on this color indication. So the color of the triangle, which is shown here on the chart, indicates the battle score. So picking the green triangles is at least a good starting point. So this is why I look this one here, 257. I use then the 108 and the 77 cycle. So these are 3 triangles. So knowing that's a good battle score. And I always start with the highest length of the cycle, so giving me some kind of confirmation, that it looks like a nice longer cycle. I'm not looking for the shorter term cycles. I mean, we have found a lot of short term cycles here, but if you're on a daily time frame, they are not easy to trade. So I hope this answers a little bit your question. So, but at least also Ripple is a question about Ripple. So let's also review that. So you know how to do it in our channel. You can use different data sets, and I think the code for Ripple is XRP. So I will just enter it here in our scanner. Click scan, and let's pull the data for Ripple. So let's load 5 years of data. So let's update the analysis. I mean, for kind of digital signal processing, it's anyhow not easy to analyze these data sets where we have this high outliners here back in 2018 and now again. But yeah, let's first now move down into the scanner section. And that's what I said. If you see these outliners here, it's not easy for the cycle analysis to check this out. But let's again use the same procedure here. So this is the one, or even the longer cycle with a green triangle, meaning high Bartle score above 80, and a long cycle length with 260, and strength is even lower, but okay. And then I would add maybe here this one, 131, so 131, also a good Bartle score. So let's use these two cycles here with the starting point, 260, and I think what was the other one, 106, or what was it? 1313, this one here. So these two cycles. Yeah, and you can always see, so this is my experience anyhow. You don't need more than, let's say, 3 cycles maximum to kind of find the major vibration of the market, which you see here. And please keep in mind, never use the absolute movement of the cycle here as indication how high or low the price might move. The amplitude is not an indication how high or low the price might go. The cycle, or the composite cycle, gives you just an information about the timing. So all the timing you see here from this composite is meant for reading of timing where the next turn might come, and don't read it as indication how high or low the price range might be go. So therefore, you just look up if the if it fits in the past with major turns in the markets, which you see here it is. And if you zoom in, you see that it even fits better. So it's just an alignment of the timing of the signals here of the composite. And there you can then see that it just 2 cycles, keep in mind, just 2 cycles picked here are able to show you at least the key turns of Ripple here. So even if it, and that's what I said, I mean, from the long-term perspective, this looks quite strange here if you see these cycles. But if you zoom in, and these are just the same cycles here, you see that they fit very good even on the short-term scale. So it's about how you view it. It's the same cycle. So here the top, the low, and here the top. Yeah, and this is what you said. So if you use this for timing, and thanks for your comment, if you do additional technical analysis, and there is tons of material out there how you can enrich your analysis with additional technical timing, then you can fine-tune the trade. So the cycle composite gives you an indication about timing. So this is the sweet thing about cycles, that you can now look into kind of future. And if you follow the composite, I mean, this does not tell you that the market will exactly turn at this point in time. This is cycle analysis, what we do here. This is not market forecasting. But you can look out now for this timing window here in February. So same reading as we've seen on Bitcoin, and as we've seen on Litecoin, and now on Ripple. So we see the same procedure here, is that we are kind of topping period. Even the composite cycle is topping. And what's interesting, if you analyze now the cryptocurrencies here, which what I did, we have 3 different coins, and we've chosen different cycle composites for each coin we have analyzed here. But the outcome and the result of all 3 coins we've analyzed here is that they seem to have a kind of topping period, even though there are individual and different cycles at play in each market. And what you now should add to your analysis, you should try to time the top here. So at least if you are long, you need to make a short stops here so that you're not losing your profits if you have some into account. This also suggests you should not go long in this market right now, at least from a cycle perspective. And you can time now, or you need to look out, okay, the fine tune based on technical perspective, what indicators do you use then for entry and exit management? Okay, but this is Ripple. I mean, discussing technical indicators is more or less out of scope of the foundation for the study of cycles. But yes, this is what you need. This is a view on the cycles. I think the Tesla and the Indian markets have also been requested. You need to pick up some symbols for the Indian markets that I can pick that up. And maybe you can add this in the comment section if you want to have some Indian composite. I've them not at hand, so you need to give me some symbols here. But what we can do, we can also have a look at Tesla. So this is the Tesla chart here. Not sure if there are any cycles which are representative for this kind of exhausted market. This is more or less an exponential curve here, which we know from the current pandemic and not from the stock markets, but that's another discussion. I'm not sure if cycle analysis, by the way, and to be honest, if cycle analysis is able, if you see this kind of raw data on the short time period, is able to pull up reliable cycles. I think we need to move to a higher time frame here if we want to analyze these cycles here. So I would suggest maybe moving to a weekly time frame on the Tesla stock. Yeah, Nifty. Maybe you can cross-check the symbol on Yahoo Finance if possible. This might help. Yeah, I think this is not split adjusted. So I think we don't have good data here for analysis. This is the weekly data, but this is not split adjusted. So therefore we should not use it. This is from Yahoo Finance. So I think we don't have clean data set here, which I would use. What we could do is we could add the major market here and maybe check the Nasdaq as a kind of proxy for the tech industry here. Yeah, so let's have a view on the Nasdaq. Let's load some more data here. What have I picked? Okay, we have now, yeah. Long data set. Okay. Oh, I've loaded too much data. Yeah, I don't want to analyze 30 years of data. So where do we start with our analysis? So maybe this is just another good situation to explain how to use the cycle scanner, because you can pick an individual range where you want to do the analysis. So, and I would also always suggest use major highs or lows from the past to as a starting point. So what we can do here, we can use the top of the year of 2000. Then we use 20 years of data, which is a quite long period here. But if you press, I need to make the screen brighter. So if you press this symbol here, you can align the starting position for your analysis by then moving on the chart and selecting the point in time where the analysis should start. Yeah. So this shows you now that the in-sample period starts in March 2000, yeah, and ends today. And we just need to press refresh to update the analysis. Okay, and you can see by the light blue data that this is now not included in the analysis. So now we use the cycle scanner here to analyze 5,000 bars of data, which is maybe anyhow too long. So maybe we should use the weekly data set. But at least it's an interesting point to start. So this is why we see this crazy picture here. If we analyze 20 years of data and a data set with over 5,000 data points in our processing here. So we could use, at least to show you how to deal with this kind of information. So here we have the one with 343 days. This is high amplitude, good Bartle score, high strength. And then I would maybe add these two ones here, 187, 179. Yeah, so let's start with these three. 353, and then maybe 187. It's kind of harmonic, quite an harmonic. 187, and then maybe 179. These three cycles here. So let's use these three cycles. And again, you need to cross-check the major timing of these data. And then we can scroll through the whole data set and check if these three cycles would have been able to pick major market turns here. Yeah, so I mean, and this is if you have this kind of long information and it's a static now historical view of these cycles here into the past. For sure, this on short-term basis is not looking like a top here, but if you see the whole data here, so even here from here to here, that's kind of downswing here. And if you see the larger picture here, that this aligns into the low, then here back to a high. So and here we have a low point here. Here this aligns to a low. So this is what I mean with timing. This does not show you the absolute price movement, but from a timing perspective, you need to check these points here. Yeah. Okay. So this is just, I mean, it's a very, very long data set we analyze here. So I will not waste too much time here. And this is, I think, confirming what we anyhow saw already in September. So what we are not able to explain based on cycles is the current upswing we see here, which is kind of non-explainable, at least by cycles. So we saw anyhow in the major markets in September, the major high, which is still, even if you analyze these 5,000 data points or 20 years of data, confirming the same analysis. So we need to cross-check how this exhaustion move here turns out. At least this looks like there's some way to go for the major markets here, and I would see it kind of Tesla is anyhow an exponential swing, even up or down, depends on what cycle we have. Okay, yeah, just checking your comments and questions on the 30 minutes data. You mean from getting the data set, right? So, I mean, you need to check what data is available to upload or use here in the scanner. From the scanner perspective itself, it is possible to use 30 minutes intervals. And it's up to you what you upload then and define as your interval. If it's 30 minutes, that's okay. You just need to prepare it up front. So then maybe just as a final topic, not to overshoot in regards to time, you have the Nifty and you have shown me now the symbol here. Maybe just one question to stick to this chart here. So your question is, are they not too close together, these two here from the length? Yes, that's right. And maybe I was a little bit too fast anyhow on this. What I would do to cross-check if it makes sense to add these two cycles here or not, you can play a little bit around, maybe so disable one, and see if the overall picture changes. I will now re-enable it, and you will see there is not much change. You see it just here, but you're right. In total, it does not make a big difference if you include both of them. So you can just go with one of these two cycles here because they are very close related. What can happen sometimes, and that's therefore you need to cross-check or validate these both, they can also disable themselves. So if the phase is exactly the opposite of these both cycles, then they would disable themselves, so you just see a flat line. So it could be that if you use both cycles which have been detected, which will result in a flat line, and then you need to enable both, because this would result then that these two cycles will not show you any value moving into the future. So therefore, you're right, you need to cross-check. In this case, you could go with either the one or the other one because the overall cyclic outlook will not change. Okay, but let's get back to the Nifty. I just need to cross-check to load it up here. So this is the Yahoo Finance symbol. No, it's not. Or am I wrong? But then we can maybe check it together. What's the symbol for the Indian stock market? I can't find it. Sorry, but I don't find the symbol, or even don't know right now where to look up the Indian data. But I will promise I will start next week with the Indian stock market, or just give it a last try this way. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. This is live. So here we have the data set for the Indian market. At least we could give it a start analyzing this market here with cycles. I'll just add 5 years of data. Okay, this is okay. So let's go to our spectrum, and there's more clear what we should use here. So we have the one with 277 and 182. 182, 277. So these would be the two cycles looking, yeah. So in here, this is just cross-checking the turning points in the markets. So here that looks quite good. Yeah, and even here in the past, low, top, low. So I was just browsing through the data set to cross-check the overall timing, and just to repeat, you use it for timing here. So looking for the bottoms and high, not the absolute alignment in regards to the overall amplitude. And here we see the same picture as mainly on the international markets anyhow, similar to what the Nasdaq is showing. That anyhow, from a cycle perspective, the top was from the cycles more or less seen back in October. And this is what we have shared here and repeated time and time. So it's now that the behavior of the markets do not fit into the current daily cycle projection here. Yeah, but that's at least one symbol here. We could also use other markets here, but I would leave it up to you now to add some additional data sets in the analyzer. I hope you liked a little bit how we've seen it today. And at least in time, I think we are running now for 30 minutes. Today, yeah, I wanted to mainly cover cryptocurrencies, which we did in the beginning. I hope you liked a little bit to the explanation about using the Bartels score, using the composite for timing, not for price targets, using then the spectrum chart. And then we have at least closed it with the Indian markets to give a kind of flexible review to you as a community. And thanks for staying with me today. I hope you will join us next week on Monday. And I would say thanks for taking the time for today, and we will see us next week. So stay safe.